Hello and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Europa Universalis IV, Mare Nostrum, playing as Venice. So we had an interesting week last week. We took quite a bit of Ottoman territory, which was very, very exciting. In fact, if you guys want to see it really quickly, kind of a recap on everything that's happened, let's go ahead and talk about a new feature that was introduced into Mare Nostrum, and that is the timeline. If we click here, you can see we've actually gone right back to the beginning of the game in 1444. And if I hit play, it'll gradually start moving through the months. We can speed it up a little bit, and you can kind of watch what happened. There goes Albania, there goes Greece, there goes Corfu and the Ottomans, and so on. Bam! Very, very cool, in my opinion. Super fast timeline. Look at that. Look at that. It's going to make making timeline videos so much easier! Thank you, Paradox. It's actually a lot easier to do a timeline from this screen than it was for me whenever I do my timelines for, let's say, Russia or Scotland. Because when I'm doing my timelines, the game still has to calculate all of the army placements and everything else. This just kind of, I believe that this is programmed only to take into account who owns the territory, so it is significantly faster. Stratioti. After the fall of Constantinople, a large amount of Greek and Albanian soldiers joined the cause of the Venetian Republic to fight against the Ottoman. They were called the Stratioti. Stratiati? Coming from the Greek word for soldier, and were feared light cavalry. One of the most notable leaders was Graitzes Paleologos, who had held out as a Byzantine commander until 1461. They will be feared by our enemies, gain 10 army tradition, 10,000 manpower, and base manpower in several provinces. Holy crap, that's awesome! I'm a big fan of this. Sweet. Alright, well, we need to go to war. I am back almost up to my manpower cap. Not really, I'm getting better, but still. Alright, since the guilds came to become the dominant power, not only in Venetian business, but also in politics, the guilds have increasingly seen the strength in cooperation. Organizations that may otherwise have seen each other as rivals are now operating efficiently together to maintain power in governing the nation, and as a fortunate side effect, their control over the quality and trade of Venetian goods has grown less narrow and more broad and efficient. We get free production efficiency and domestic trade power. Holy crap, this is the best start of an episode ever. Alright, now one thing we did do recently, I believe, we supported some rebels, didn't we? Let's see. Is supporting rebels 10% towards an uprising. So they are uprising despite the fact that this says 0 unrest. Now, I'm going to actually do ahead a little cheat right now, because I want to test something. Debug mode, and we're going to switch over to Milan. Now, here's the reason why. If I tag switch over to Milan, like so, what I understand is, if we support rebels, it doesn't necessarily affect the unrest, but it is guaranteed to start making progress. So if I look at the Faranese separatists, yes. Okay, so despite the fact that there is a 0% unrest chance in Ferrara, there is a 10% chance of increasing by 10% each month. Interesting. Okay, so supporting rebels is not broken, it totally works, just not quite the way I was expecting. Oh, look who's building a spy network against me. I won't act on that information, that's cheating. Sorry, but yeah, okay. We had to find out. For the sake of science, I wanted to confirm that yes, support rebels does work. It just does not show up in the unrest here. But if I am to go to Milan and hover over the support rebels, we can see what kind of progress those rebels have made. And the support, it says, lasts until May 1471. So presumably, for 5 years then, they have a 10% chance of increasing their rebels. There's a pretty good chance that they'll fire no matter what. That's pretty cool. Pretty good chance. Pretty darn good chance. Alright. Well, one other thing that I did see, by the way, was a... Ooh, hang on. Luca refuses merchants of... Did Luca... A bunch of people apparently have not done trade embargoes. They reshuffled some things. Anyway, one thing I heard, and I have to confirm this, but one thing I heard from a viewer is that I am misunderstanding a little bit of this whole 20 province limit. Supposedly... 20 actual state cores is the limit, but territorial cores do not count. I'm going to want to test that out because that would be awesome if so. Alright, we are trying to pay attention to Aden, which is fighting against Genoa. They're only holding a tiny bit of territory. They're not actually doing a whole lot, but it would be interesting to see what's going to happen there. In defense of the mercantile interest, It is only right and proper to gain 2 mercantilism at the cost of some corruption. Oh, I can handle that. Absolutely, I can handle that. We can probably spend a little bit of money rooting it out a little faster if we so desire, but yeah, 2 mercantilism is awesome. This is the best start of a game ever! Okay, well, we've got 29% mercantilism already, because I believe we started off with a base of 25, and yes, I could spend some power to promote mercantilism and gain 1% as often as I wish, as long as I have some diplomatic power. Hey, look at that! Orthodox zealots! Too bad you're not Byzantine separatists actually capable of stopping these guys. But the Ottomans do have 23,000 troops again. I think they're going to recover. I'm not sure how well they're going to recover, but I do think they are going to recover. Oh, Kandar is involved in this Genoese war as well. Who else is involved in this thing? Just Genoa, and Aden, and Kandar. Well, we were looking at an opportunity. In fact, let's go ahead and take our military tech. We were looking at an opportunity to jump on the Genoese, possibly take Cyprus or something like that. The only problem with doing so is that we are currently at our relationship limit. Really would hate to have to pay the extra power for this. Cyprus is very tempting, though. Don't get me wrong. Cyprus is very, very much tempting. But we're going to be paying attention to this war and sort of seeing what happens. If it's possible, we'll stomp down Genoa, make sure these guys are safe, and possibly get them to join a trade league. Kandar will be forced to give... What the heck? Kandar will give Genoa money? I thought Kandar was doing fine. Apparently Kandar is not on the winning side here. Huh. I do still find it funny that this one province minor is successfully sieging down a whole bunch of Genoese territory, though. Would not have expected that. Let's go and get these guys grouped together. Doop-a-doop-doop. Come here. Oh, wait, you can't. Can you? No. Where are my transports? Where are my transports at? Let's go ahead and get this guy over here. There we go. A new coin? Do we reject the reform? I think I'm just going to gain the inflation, probably. Inflation's getting a little high. Once it gets above 5% is when you tend to have problems. Which, for moderately obvious reasons, I would like to avoid. Doop-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. These galleys are mothballed. The others are still patrolling. I have noticed, by the way, some bugs where it seems like the fleet, when it is told to protect trade or protect against pirates or whatever, sometimes they'll just go in a dock for no real discernible reason, and they don't really come out. Like, I don't really understand what's going on there, but oh well. Oh, look, Byzantine separatists. I guess we better go and fight them. Raise up the army maintenance. Oh, wait. Go get him, Ottomans! You go get him! Go get him! Thank you, sir. It's very generous of you. Also completely pointless. But thank you for being stupid. Also, okay, how did you even get in here? You did not have military access, as was proven by the fact that you just got black flagged when you were in my province. How did you do that? I'm having so much trouble understanding how you can cross provinces these days. It seemed so black and white once upon a time. But these days, not so much. Alright, do we go for the extra admin tech? I mean, we don't have an idea group that's administrative, so yeah, I guess we might as well get ahead of time, burn off that corruption a bit faster so we don't have to pay any money. That sounds great. Also, now we have workshops, and workshops are good. Let's take a quick look-see at that as well. Production efficiency. 0.43 ducats in Venice. Yes, sir. I think we'll take the 2.5 in Brescia. Brescia? Those all seem pretty good. Alright. We can also take a new national decision. The, De Heretico Comburendo. Do we gain missionary strength and taxes, and the Catholics have a little bit of faster reform? Yeah, I'm totally okay with the extra missionary strength. Look, I'm Catholic, but I'm not above a little extra taxes, you know? Seems perfectly fine. Let's bump it to speed 5 for a little bit. We are still building up a spy network here. Let's just go ahead and fabricate a claim against Cyprus now, just in case we get caught. And I don't really see a whole lot of point in continuing to build up a spy network here, so let's actually start building one up against Genoa instead. Can I? No, I got caught, didn't I? Right. I guess we'll counter-spy against Milan, and we will build up a spy network against Whoa. Mamluks took some territory down here, did they? Mamluks are doing well this game. I guess we'll go ahead and improve relations? Maybe we improve relations with Mantua a little bit or something. Maybe we improve it with the Pope. Yeah, it never hurts to just be friends with the Pope, right? That extra papal influence is good. Speaking of which, we have a fair bit. I mean, we don't need any more stability. We could hold on to it, but why don't we just go ahead and grab some extra mercantilism. Which, by the way, if I understand correctly, this has been changed now so that mercantilism does not increase your corruption, which I actually think is very unfortunate. I kind of liked that there was a downside to mercantilism now. I thought that was actually a really good change. It made sense. The higher your mercantilism, the higher your protectionist trade policies, then there was a very good chance that some people would become corrupt and using the political ends to manipulate the markets. I think that would have made sense, but no. Apparently not. For the Catholic faith, Switzerland likes me. Hooray, Switzerland, we be best buds. These Orthodox zealots are actually holding themselves pretty well here. We should take a look at something. I want to take a look at the areas and some states, sort of see what happens here. So, if this is correct, that territorial cores do not count toward my 20 province limit, then I actually want to be very careful as far as where I take territory and make sure that it is in line with states that I want to keep and kind of plan out my territories. For example, this is technically a state for me. I could make it a territory, but currently it's a state. So if I expanded into these two, they would have to be states. They can't be territories. Likewise with Lyca or Lica or whatever it is, I don't know. Same over here with Brescia, and Milan and all that kind of stuff. Whereas if I were to expand into, let's say, Serbia, this would be a state or an area that I do not have any cores in, so I probably could leave these as territorial, and that would not actually be a big a deal. In fact, maybe we should consider, let's see, Bosnia, you're allied with Hungary. Never mind. I mean, fighting Hungary is fun and all, don't get me wrong. How strong is Hungary? I'm curious. Let's take a look at some of our enemies. We are here. Hungary is just below us. They are doing pretty well. They're on par with us. Austria is actually currently the strongest military power in the world, and I have upset them. Well, that's fun. Muscovy's doing Muscovy things. England, the Mamluks are doing better than the Ottomans. Although they have far less troops than the Ottomans, for some reason. Are you involved in a war? No. No, you are not. Okay. Well, I don't really know what else to do right now, aside from sort of sit back and let our autonomy decrease, make sure that we are solidifying our power over our new holdings and so on. By the way, we also have to consider the fact that now we own this province. If we do take Constantinople, that also will be a core. Now, that's fine with me, because, well, first off, this is actually currently a territory. I'd have to make it into a state. But when I take Constantinople, I do want to make this a state, because the autonomy would be affecting my local trade power and so on. So I don't want this to be capped at 75. That's way too high. I wouldn't get very much benefit out of the coastal centers of trade at all. All right, we're up to 90 Republican tradition. I feel like we do one more new election. And the aristocrats have taken over now. We have less trade power abroad. We have better morale of armies and national sailors. I actually don't like that. I don't think I like that at all. The merchants have practically no power to speak of right now for some reason. If I were to give the guilds, I could spend 10 admin power to try and get the guilds more in power again, but we'll leave it as is for now. Should be fine. Milan declared war upon Genoa. Oh, now that's interesting. Oh, now that is interesting. So, the opportunity arises to do terrible things to Genoa, and if they fall below negative 50 prestige, then their trade league falls apart. Milan may do that for me. In the meantime, Milan is distracted. Do we fight them and take Ferrara? No, because they're allied to freaking Aragon. Dang it. It might be a lot better to fight Genoa. Problem is, if I fight them, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trade league members, plus Lucca, plus Florence. Lucca should be in my trade league, right? Yeah, but they would defend them, undoubtedly. We are allied to France and Switzerland, though. There's probably some fun things we could do to them. We don't need to counter-spy here anymore. If we were to declare war on you, Switzerland would join. France would not, because they do not owe me favors. Austria, of course, would be compelled to defend them because they are members of the Empire. Sort of figures. Same case if we declared war on Genoa directly. As opposed to, if we declared war on Cyprus, the Mamluks are allied to Cyprus, so we can't actually fight them safely either. Alright. Serbia, Hungary, and Bosnia would defend them. Bosnia, Hungary, and Serbia would defend them. It's kind of limiting our options here, isn't it? Austria's allied to a bunch of people. We're not really in a good position to expand for a little while, are we? No. No, we're really not. We're kind of going to have to wait and see what happens, especially at least until we get some extra favors with France. You know, one thing we could do, I'm not sure if I'm going to, but something we could do would be to offer condottieri. So, for example, if we were to talk to Genoa, we could offer to rent off our troops to them in exchange for money and fight Milan. Would I gain power projection out of that? Because that would make sense. Not that I want to protect Genoa, I'm just saying. We don't want to protect Milan either, but it would be interesting. We could try to offer some troops to these guys, though, and this would be a way to fight Genoa for a little while. If I were to rent them, let's say, this small army here. Too expensive for them. What are your reasonings here? No land access to capital. Well, it is a new thing you can do in the game. You can rent out your troops and your leaders and try to make some money. It's a good way to try and influence the wars as they are, and also get paid a little bit. At least pay for the maintenance of your troops, possibly gain a profit out of it. Growth of the Murano glass industry. Since the late 13th century, the Venetian glass-making industry has been confined to the island of Murano in order to lessen the risk of fire. The popularity of the glass has only continued to increase since then, and the glassblowers have become both rich and influential. The secrets of how to produce such exquisite products are known to few outside of their borders, and in order to safeguard this knowledge, the glassblowers are confined to the city. Good grief. As the popularity of Venetian glass continues to increase, the world is changing. With the fall of Constantinople, a great number of men possessing the rare skills needed to glassmake are requesting to be allowed to settle down. Do we welcome the Byzantine glassblowers, gain money, prestige, lots of taxes in Venice, and the guilds gain influence? Or, holy crap, do we support our own glassblowers, gain 5 mercantilism, and also the taxes? I would rather take 5 mercantilism and 30 influence for the guilds than some money and prestige. Because now we actually have a monarch point number associated with mercantilism. This is 500 diplomatic power worth of mercantilism right here. Heck yes, we are absolutely going to be supporting our own guys. Now we're up to 35% mercantilism. Jeez! Oh, that's excellent, and now the guilds are back in charge. Goods produced goes up. We have a little less manpower, but that should be fine. Wow, that worked out really nicely for us. Hey, look! It's Cyprus! You came over here after all. Good for you. Well, I'm going to call this video here, but thank you guys for watching. This has been Pravus with EU4 Mare Nostrum. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure... Oh, cool, we actually got this mission. I never get this mission. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I, as always, will see you guys next time.